Hey, what's up guys? This is Pelican Dude, and today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with you on planet colonization and smashing planets into each other, and how viable that is. Now, unfortunately, the gameplay does not involve any planet colonization or smashing planets into each other, because every game that I've played so far in the past, like 2 days, the server has crashed about 15 minutes to half an hour into the game. So that is a big problem, and hopefully they get that fixed, because that is really annoying. But anyway, hopefully the gameplay will at least be somewhat entertaining. So basically, here are my thoughts. So we have right now the beta. The colonization of other planets is not the most viable, but it can be good in other certain situations. So like, for instance, your commander is on your planet and you're getting killed. You want to send your commander to another planet, but this has its drawbacks. So you're going to be sending your commander up in your little orbital lander, and he's going to chill out on the other planet and hopefully start getting a base up. But the problem is the enemy now has control of the entire starting planet, presumably. So unless it's a free-for-all, that might be different. But they have the entire resources of that planet at their disposal, so they're just going to be able to chase you down with orbital fighters and orbital laser platforms, and they're going to be able to destroy you, which means it's not the most useful. However, if you can maintain, now here's the big one, if you can maintain a foothold, or a beachhead, so to speak, on the starting planet, and the enemy does not also go orbital or try and chase you down with their commander, then you have a real advantage. So I did this in one of my, I believe it's still, as of the making of this video, the most recent live comm of Planetary Annihilation on my channel, and I kind of use this strategy. So what happens is we start on this planet, and the planet's pretty decently sized, but there's only like 52 metal locations on the whole planet. And so I just lock down this area with about 10 metal deposits in it, and I just go for orbital as fast as I can. I get my commander off the world, and I start colonizing the other planet, which has like 200 some metal deposits. And I knew that would probably be the winning strategy. So what happens is I got onto that planet, and I started making my metal extractors, started making energy generators. That was my econ planet. I had big economy on that planet. I probably, 3/4 of my income, if not more than that, was from that planet by the end of the game. And then since I still had the beachhead on the starting planet, I was able to make advanced units and stuff like that and use them to kill the enemy, as well as a couple of orbital laser platforms, which were very lethal. That was actually one of the first times I'd used orbital laser platforms in a public match. Now, that being said, that's, again, a limited scenario, but that is probably my most recommended use of the colonization of other planets right now, is to try and maintain a beachhead on your planet, or your base on your planet, and then just use the other planet as a resource base, more or less. And I think this will probably happen. There will be certain planets, as we get closer and closer to launch, which hopefully will have more stable servers. As we get closer to the launch, hopefully we're going to be able to get the ability to, move multiple units in one transport, and I think we're going to start seeing certain planets are going to be like the resource planets that you're fighting over for the resources, and certain planets are going to just be, say the starting planet, you're just going after them because that's where the enemy bases are, enemy commanders are. So I think that'll be some interesting gameplay, that you'll have certain planets that the only reason you're expanding to is because of resources, and certain planets, like the moons, the only reason why you're expanding to those is to smash them into things most of the time. So as far as the viability of planet smashing, I was actually pretty close to smashing a planet smashing a moon into a planet when the server crashed this morning, which was really unfortunate because it was a 10-player free-for-all and we were having a lot of fun. But whatever, it happens, and hopefully it'll stop happening once the game is released. But basically what happens is that's pretty viable. I'd say any moon that only takes 3 rocket engines to move, I'd say is a pretty viable strategy to use that as a game ender. Unless you can end it in another way, because here's the thing, guys, is if you're into theatrics, then yeah, the moon is the most cool looking way right now to end the game. But here's the thing, there are very limited scenarios in which the moon will be the most effective way to end the game. So like if the enemy has a huge base on the planet and you really do not think you can actually take them out with a conventional army and they've got anti-nukes and everything like that, then suddenly that is a good idea to make yourself your moon base, and then bam, you're able to smash in and just completely, you win the game. That's kind of the point, is to win. So that's great. But if you're able to win just with a conventional army pretty early on, then don't extend the game just for the sake of the moon, because I've usually found that the longer the game goes on, the better chance the enemy has of recovering and winning. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But that being said, there are some moons that even if you can move, just don't. Like there's quite a few that actually take 25 rocket engines to move, which is stupid. It's insane, and that just takes forever. You will be able to win so many other ways, even if it's just mass bombers, like 300 or 400 Tech 1 bombers. Really, that's just very. I would never recommend moving one of the 25 engine planets. I mean, that's just insane. So basically, that's my thoughts right now on the planet smashing as well as planet colonization. So if you have any, other thoughts, I guess, leave them in the comments, etc. And I hope that you all have a nice day.